Live from New York, this is WIUR Radio.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Harry Highlights. Yes, sirree. If you're new to WIUR, I'm Harry Fisher, and this is Harry Highlights. This is the podcast that brings you coverage around sports happening around Iona, New York, and the nation. So, welcome back, everyone, to the podcast. We had a great week off. We had spring break. So many people, so many students, so many faculty traveling. So, it's been a while since we have done an episode, but we are back and we are ready and we are ready to unload because we got a lot of sports to cover. We got a lot of sports happening around here at Iona with spring sports starting in full swing. We got baseball coming up. We got golf in full swing. We got the NHL and NBA playoffs coming up really, really soon. So we got a lot to unfold here in New Rochelle. So let's get started, shall we? So let's start off with the baseball team. So Iona baseball had a season series against Marist. Iona won on Saturday 5-3 over Marist. Sean Stevenson had a massive day at the plate where he recorded 2 hits and recorded 3 RBIs. The Gales fell behind early in the first couple of innings, but then in the seventh inning, they had a massive 4-run inning that put them up ahead. The Gales went on to win that game 5-3. They but then the Gales would go on to lose the rubber game of the series yesterday to Marist. Marist took the series, but so far it was a great series. A lot of positives to take away. On Friday, Marist won the first game. Iona took the second game. And then yesterday, Marist took the rubber game of the series. But it was a great series, toe to toe between Iona and Marist. Both teams looking to extend their winning ways and extend their paths in the MAC tournament. Iona, they were 3-3 in the MAC coming in to this series against Maris, but definitely a lot of positives. And the pitching was a big factor for Iona. As actually on Friday's game was a pitching duel, so I was on the call Friday. On Friday, me and our great president, shout out to Robbie Basil, we were on the call for the Iona Maris game. Maris won 1-0, but it was a pitching duel that game, and it was a great outing once again from Andriles Payamps, who had a massive outing, pitched went 6 or 7 innings and recorded over 6 strikeouts. And he really was impressive that game. His arsenal, his fastball, his off speed, his breaking balls were good, and he was able to record over 6 or 7 strikeouts. So definitely a great performance by him. And yeah, it was just a great great weekend for the Iona defense and the Iona pitching and the Iona pitching staff. So a lot of good things to look forward to for this Gale squad moving forward. Definitely some great signs by the pitching staff, some great signs by the batting order, and yeah, just positive signs all around. And so Iona, they will be, as the season goes on, it'll be exciting to watch how this team plays. So let's move it over to softball. So softball had an interesting weekend against Siena. They actually closed the series with a strong 5-0 shutout win against Siena, which on its own looks great. Dominant pitching, clean performance, but But here's the issue, though. Iona, they dropped the first two games of the series on Friday. But then they were able to win. They were able to close out the series yesterday, 5-0 against Iona. So far, it was a great win yesterday to get that final win of the series for Iona softball. And, it was just great hitting. The offense really came alive when they needed to. And when I take a look at Iona and baseball and softball, they're going to be fun to watch all year long. And as MAC play starts to come into play here, and the MAC conference starts to get underway here with in-season play with baseball and softball, it's going to be fun to watch. And definitely, there are some good signs. There's some definitely good signs to see with hitting. How defense is able to come together to turn double plays, get outs, and get strikeouts. So definitely good signs to see all across the board for both teams. So let's talk about men's lacrosse. So men's lacrosse, they did have a tough loss to Marist this week, and the big issue was the start. They fell behind early and just couldn't recover. And in lacrosse, it was a tough game for the Gales against Marist, but the Iona men's lacrosse team, even though with the loss against Marist, they definitely have shown some good signs with offense, attacking. Get their they did get their first win of the season a couple of weeks ago. So definitely have seen some good signs from Iona lacrosse. But I think going forward. Again, this team's going to be fun to watch going forward. I think, for the first couple of games, they had a tough out of conference schedule. They had to play Navy, they had to play North Carolina, they had to play all these tough teams on the road. So I think now that was a wake up call, and I think now the Iona Gales, the lacrosse team, they're gonna start playing better. They're gonna start coming together, and they're gonna start putting together good performances. So I think Iona lacrosse, they're going to get better, and they're going to start to turn things around here. So definitely a lot of positives to look forward to for the Iona men's lacrosse team. So let's turn it over to baseball, shall we? So I want to recap of the World Baseball Classic. So the World Baseball Classic, it was a really great tournament. Team USA and Venezuela. Um, it was a phenomenal game, but Venezuela, they were able to get the go-ahead run. But I have to say, major props to Bryce Harper, who stepped up in the bottom of the eighth and delivered for Team USA to bring them back into the game with that two-run shot to tie the game. And it it was a great run by Team USA. Obviously, the offense, uh, they just couldn't get the runs across the board, but definitely was a great run. And their offense did a good job. I saw some good signs from Roman Anthony. We saw some good signs from Aaron Judge, the captain, who did a phenomenal job leading Team USA. And we just saw some good things from the entire offense with hitting. We saw some good things from the pitching. Paul Skeens did a phenomenal job when Team USA was able to get the upset win against dominant Dominican Republic offense. But it was definitely a great run for Team USA. So we're gonna take a break here for a sec, and we'll be back in 10 seconds after this commercial break. So enjoy.
Untouchable, unstoppable.
This is WIUR Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Robbie Basil, president of WIUR Radio, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. Have you ever wanted to call the biggest games, the biggest moments for the biggest names for Iona Athletics? Then the newly founded WIUR Sports Radio is the place to be. Launched in January of 2025, our goal is to try and get broadcasters here at Iona an opportunity to learn, succeed, and get a chance to be on air. From getting to call the big moments at the hack,
Dinkins trying to go to the rack. Denied! Denied! Yafet Mundi with the
to seeing the crack of the bat at City Park.
line drive into left field, around third, and it kicks away. The Gales are going to win it in 10.
We make those moments happen on our brand new WIUR Sports Radio platform on Mixer. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me via email or to the rest of my e-board to join the club. We are WIUR Sports Radio, the new home of Iona Athletics. Now, back to the show on WIUR, Iona University Radio.
We are back after the break. So if you're new to WIUR, I am Harry Fisher, and welcome back to Harry Highlights. This is another episode where we bring you coverage all across the world and all across sports happening here at Iona University. So let's move it over to the MLB. So let's talk about both New York teams. Let's start with the Yankees. So some good things in some good things in spring training for the Yankees. Still early on in the season, but you can already feel the tone being set by the Yankees. The Yankees are trying to establish consistency, especially at the plate. And as always with this team, it comes down to two things: power and health. If your lineup is producing top to bottom, this dangerous team, this is a dangerous team, but when it gets top heavy, that's when you start seeing issues. The Yankees, coming off of the World Baseball Classic, you got Aaron Judge, you got Cody Bellinger, you got a nice pitching staff with Max Fried and um, and Cam Schwiller. Coming into this season, one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, and the Yankees really did a good job of updating this pitching staff. And I think the Yankees, the one thing they need to do is stay healthy. So they re-signed Cody Bellinger, which was a good re-signing. They got Aaron Judge coming back. You still got Giancarlo Stanton, so you got some great hitters in this lineup, but the Yankees, they just need to stay consistent, and it's going to be tough in that division in the AL East because you got the Blue Jays who got Vlad Guerrero Jr. and all these top heavy hitters and defenders coming back. You got the Red Sox who are still who are still building up, who are coming off a great season. I think the Red Sox are going to take that next step with Roman Anthony, Garrett Crochet, and all those good young prospects that the Red Sox have been able to do a great job of locking them up and making money moves as soon as possible to make sure Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and Garrett Crochet and all those players that they brought up last season that really came on and had an impact are locked up and are going to be with this team for a very long time. So, you know, the Yankees, they made the playoffs last year, but the only the la- the only thing the Yankees need to do is the one question is, can we still win a World Series? And the Yankees, they've gotten to the playoffs several times, but they have came up short. They were very close in 2024, but they've came up short multiple times in the playoffs. So I think the Yankees, they're I think the Yankees are going to be in a good position where they will be able to make a run for the playoffs. But it's going to come down to if their pitching can be stabilized. They did lose some relief pitchers like Luke Weaver, and uh, they did lose Devin Williams in free agency, but I do think that this team, they still have a good starting pitching staff. You got Garrett Cole coming back from his injury, so good pitching staff, but can they stabilize this pitching staff? That's going to be the main question moving forward. Um, so let's move it over to the Mets. So Mets have opening day coming up. So opening day is right around the corner. Mets, I believe the Mets open up against the Pirates. So it's going to be a tough opening series for the first couple of games of the season, going up against Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates. But you know the Mets. They were fascinating this offseason. So I remember we talked about how they brought in Bo Bichette, they brought in Luis Roberts Jr.'s. One of the biggest acquisitions they made this offseason was getting Freddie Peralta. And a lot of eyes are on the Mets to see how they can uh, retool after this after what we all thought was going to be a disaster of an offseason, losing Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, and um who else? Uh and Brandon Nimmo obviously getting traded, and Jeff McNeil also getting traded, but they were able to make some moves this offseason. And I think right now the Mets, um, you know, some players have been making an impact on the field, like Luis Roberts Jr. and uh, in outfield. Bo Bichette has had a couple of plate appearances. Kodai Senga will be interesting, also coming back from a major injury. So it'll be interesting to see how the Mets will be able to move forward. So the key thing is for the Mets, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to win games. And I know the Mets, their offense, one thing that they have struggled is leaving runners on base. They got to get runners across the board. And I think right now the Mets did a good job of getting hitters who hit for average, that get a lot of extra base hits and see the strike zone very well. Like I know Bo Bichette does really well. I know Polanco, who they got from the Seattle Mariners. He had a great his batting average and his hitting for average total really skyrocketed and really was a big factor in the postseason, as he was a big part of the Mariners' run to the American League Championship. So the Mets definitely got some good hitters who can be right behind Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, but the key is you just got to get hits and you got to get runners across the board. And I think the Mets really did a good job of getting players who are able to who are able to have good OPSs throughout the year and are able to have great extra base hits and are able to have high RBI totals and have good batting average of hitting off of top pitchers, which is really good. So let's move it over to basketball. So I want to talk about the Knicks for a sec. So one big news story over the NBA last week. Cade Cunningham unfortunately suffered an injury. He will be out for a long, extended period of time. So that's going to be a big question for the Detroit Pistons moving forward. As we know, the Pistons moving forward, they're still the number one team in the East. But for the Knicks, that's the number one thing about the Knicks moving forward is that's the one team that they've struggled with. They've struggled with the Pistons. They've lost two out of three to the Pistons. And the Knicks, as of recently, they've been playing better basketball. We know Brunson, Carl Anthony Towns have been getting back into their groove. But for the Knicks, now with the Celtics getting stronger, Jason Tatum looking like he never was injured, looking like he was still the same explosive superstar that he was last year and when he won the NBA championship. So the Celtics are right there. So this Eastern Conference is going to be scary. And you have over at the Western Conference, you have the Lakers who are playing really good basketball. You have Luca who's playing really well. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder, Gilgis Alexander's playing really well. So there are going to be some tough teams to watch moving forward in the playoffs. But for the Knicks, they got the pieces. Uh, they just need to they just all need to stay playing uh team basketball. They all need to start sharing the basketball like they always have been. They just need to stay strong on defense, and if they can hold up, they'll be able to take 2 or 3, hopefully 4 games from the Pistons, from the Celtics, and all the top teams in the Eastern Conference. So yeah, that's the thing on the Knicks, and you know, let's move it over to hockey. So the Rangers and the Islanders, both teams have been playing well of recently. The Rangers went on a little bit of a run, but then lost. They lost yesterday in a shootout to the Winnipeg Jets, and the Islanders, they're still grinding. The Islanders, they're still fighting for a playoff spot, and it's a tough playoff race in the NHL because you got the Bruins, you got the Red Wings, you got the Islanders who are still trying to stay up top of the wild card race. And we know the Islanders, they've been having a great season. Matthew Shaver, obviously, Bo Horvat, and Ilya Sorokin, uh, who's been having a phenomenal year as well. So the Islanders will be interesting to watch. Um, the Yesterday, the Islanders won 1-0 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They moved to 40-26 on the year, so it'll be interesting to see how the Islanders can hold up. They're fourth in the Metropolitan Division, and yesterday was a huge win against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are ahead of them. Uh, just by in the race. They're tied 85 points at a piece. So both teams are fighting to get that third spot, and hopefully both teams are trying to catch the Penguins. So it'll be tough to see in the Metropolitan Division with the Islanders, Blue Jackets, and the Penguins to see who can take that second spot, third spot, and fourth spot in the Metropolitan Division. But definitely going to be interesting to watch as we come down to the final games of the regular season in the NHL. So let's move it over to golf. I want to finish off with golf here. So yesterday, Matt Fitzpatrick won the Valspar Championship. Uh, Matthew Fitzpatrick, yesterday was a great win by him. He won by 1 stroke, finishing 11 under, with Limsky finishing at 10 under. So we so obviously, so I do want to mention this. We weren't here last week, but last week Cam Young had a phenomenal signature win at the Players Championship. He had a phenomenal performance, Cam Young, on the green, where he was able to come alive with his putting, making birdies, saving pars, and he was able to get the signature win through 18 holes. And Matthew Fitzpatrick yesterday was a good outing by him, and he was able to finish at 3 under on the final round of the Valspar Championship. And as we get closer to Augusta here, because don't forget, the Masters is coming up. So, I'm going to be I'm going to be watching these tournaments closely with laser eye focus, because I want to see who's going to be able to win the Masters. Uh, I'm not sure if all of you guys saw, but Rory McIlroy, he released his Masters dinner table menu. It was pretty interesting. And yeah, the and yeah, Rory will look to defend his Masters championship. Hopefully, get another green jacket at Augusta coming up. But it'll be interesting to see who can come alive with their short game and who can come alive with their irons and off the tee. So it'll be interesting to see when the Masters uh, comes around. So that'll be it for our show today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys have a great day, and we will be back next week for another episode of Harry Highlights. So take care, everyone. Have a great day, and yeah, have a great day, everyone.